Hey folks, this is Ray at DCRainmaker.com here, and today I've got a complete sports technology deals list covering watches and action cameras and drones and cycling stuff. It is all in this video. And in fact, it encompasses more than 100 plus deals I have listed on the deals page up there or there, somewhere up in the corner there, that is real-time updated probably every like 15 to 20 minutes all day long, all weekend long for that matter, into Cyber Monday. Now this video is categorized down the bottom there using the YouTube chapter, so you can jump to the section that you want, whether it be wearables or drones and action cameras or cycling stuff, or even just some of the cool like geeky tech that I'm buying myself or I've bought here in the DC Arcade over the last little while. Now while the first chunk of this video is primarily for the US North American audience, the last portion is the European deals, so I've got those listed there as well. And then I put the best deals in the description of this video. All those links help support the channel and what I do here, so I really do appreciate that. Now in order to save you a bunch of time, I'm not going to like make up a bunch of graphics and stuff like that. I want to get this to you as fast as possible since time is of the essence. So I'm just going to go through this huge list right here and then give you a bunch of opinions on all the different deals and whether or not they're worth it. Okay, so with that, we're going to jump right into the wearable section. That's everything from like chest straps to watch bands and stuff like that, as well as earphones and things like that. So the first one is ironically one that's not even like released yet, which is the Amazon Halo View. That's the new one coming, I think December like 2nd or 9th. They're going to start shipping. It's already on sale for 38% off. Look, if you're going to buy that, cool, just know that we don't know how good it is yet, so we'll have to find out there. AirPods are down to 114 bucks for the second gen one, or AirPods Pro, it's 60 bucks off. The Apple Watch SE, the best deal we've seen thus far at 219 bucks. I've actually been using that quite a bit. It's this one right here over the summer. And then I switched to the Apple Watch Series 7, which is also on sale, about 30 bucks or so off, depending on the exact day and time of day. And that also did very, very well in my testing. And in fact, the Apple Watch SE, despite being last year's model that does not have the always on display, they've clearly had some firmware updates over the last year, and the accuracy is much better than it was a year ago. So scroll on down here, the Beats Power Beats Pro at 149, 100 bucks off. I used those quite a bit until this past summer when I've mostly switched to the Beats Studio Beats, Power Beats Studio Beats, which are down between $91 and $94. So that's like 50 some odd, 60 bucks off, which is pretty impressive for something only released a few months ago. Next, as usual, you'll see Form with their open water and pool swim goggle. It's a heads-up display that shows you all your metrics, connects to Garmin Watch or an Apple Watch as well, though that's not actually required. It seems to be the sale deal every year. The newer Fitbit Charge 5 didn't do super well in my review, but it is down to 129, so basically 50 bucks off. In fact, most of the Fitbit things are between 30 and 50% off. So you see the Fitbit Inspire 2 at $59, the Luxe at $99, the Fitbit Sense at $199. I think this is actually a good deal. It was initially at $329, then $299, and now it's at $199. At that price point, it's a very solid competitor. In the data metrics, they have improved a lot in the last year since my initial review. The Garmin Enduro at $699. Keep in mind, this one is all about battery life and less so about really anything else. There's no maps on there or music or anything like that. For me, that's a good deal if you really want the Enduro, but I think the better deal is really the Garmin Fenix 6 series, which is $250 off, depending on which one you want. So for example, the Pro Solar series is at $549, but here the base series is at $349. This is by far probably the best deal on the page overall. How the Fenix 6 series starting at $349 is pretty insane, especially when you look at all the other watches that are on sale from an endurance sports standpoint, and that being that's just a really good deal. Hey, a quick note, if you are finding this list useful or interesting, go ahead and whack that like button there at the bottom. It tells YouTube that others might find this interesting and really helps out this video quite a bit. The 945 LTE is on sale for $549, 100 bucks off. That came out this past summer. That's a pretty reasonable deal, and that gets it pretty close to the price of the 945 without LTE. So if you're gonna buy it, you might as well just buy the LTE version, even if you don't activate it right away. The Garmin Instinct Solar and Instinct are both on sale. The Instinct Solar is down to $249, and the Instinct itself, the base without the solar features, is like $169 or so. Keep in mind, those, while they're similar sounding watches, are actually quite different under the covers. The Instinct Solar has much newer technology from an optical sensor standpoint and features, so they really could have called that like the Instinct Solar 2 or something like that, but they just kept with it. All the Venue series are basically 50 to 70 bucks off, so the Venue 2 at $349, the Venue 2S, the Venue Square or Venue SQ at $129, and then the Vivo Active 4, which shares basically the same platform as the Venue 2, 2 is down to $199 at $100 off as well. Probably one of my favorites on this list because it's so cheap is the VivoFit Junior at $39. I suspect we'll see this at $29 at some point over the weekend. This is actually what my daughters wear, and they love them. It's just a really easy way to track activity throughout the day and kind of keep tabs on how busy they are. Two Polar deals for you: the Polar Grid X at $110 off, and also the Vantage M2 that came out this past spring at 16% off. This is a pretty good deal to me. It's got most of those training features that you might need, and the features that you might want to use in a triathlon, for example, multi-sport mode, are all in this watch. The new Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 watches are $50 off, both the classic and the standard ones. Those did fairly well in my testing overall, and I think probably the best Samsung watch they've made to date. That's based on the latest Wear OS, so it's really the only watch out there right now based on that version of Wear OS. Okay, so next up we got all the cycling deals. It's a general kind of bucket here. All of the trainers are roughly 10 to 15% off. Not as good as the 20% off deals that we saw last week. Those deals that's over now, unfortunately, until at least sometime solidly next year. There are a handful of trainers that are 20% off, like 17 to 20% off. Notably, the 4Eyes Flight is 20% off. Also the first time we've seen that in stock in years. That's pretty cool. And then the Ceres H3 is about 17% off. So that's pretty cool as well. So if you scroll to this list, you'll see trainers like the Elite Sweet OT, 10% off, Elite 2.0, the Garmin Edge 130 Plus and 530 Plus are both $50 off at $249 US. However, on the Euro side, it's insane. The deal is €159, which is I think like $188 US. And so I'll link that at the bottom there as well. The Edge 830 is $349. Garmin Varia Radar is $99 for the 315, which is the one without the light. There are a couple of trade-in deals from various manufacturers. Notably, Hammerhead has the Crew 2, a trade-in up to $150 in that unit. Really one of the best units out there today. It's really, really impressive, especially on the mapping front. You'll see down below there's a couple smart bikes that are on sale. This kids bike is on sale for $11 off. I've been using it lately. My kids have, like, not really I've been using it, but they've been using it. They love it. It's not like super technical. It's kind of very basic in that sense, but they really, really like it quite a bit. Also, Nordic Track has their gear $700 off. The Peloton bike has like an accessories bundle, $200 off. But the Peloton Bike Plus, that's the more accurate one with the bigger screen. That is $350 just straight off. No like accessory bundle sort of thing to deal with. There is the Ceres H3 that I mentioned earlier on. That's like 17% off right now, so that's a pretty good deal. The Stages bike itself, $350 off, which is an astounding deal for that bike. And really the only like Zwift focused smart bike that we're seeing on sale this particular Black Friday season. They also have all of their bike computers on sale for about $75 off, as well as their power meters for 30% off. Tacx has a bunch of the trainers between $100 and $200 off, notably the Neo 2T, which is probably the best in that list there of the Tacx trainers. And then if you go on down, you see a lot of the Wahoo gear now is 10% off from the trainer side. So for example, Kicker Core, you'll see down here the Wahoo Kicker itself, V5. On the European side though, it's about 17% off, so that's a pretty good deal there. Okay, so action cameras and drones. For the most part, if things were not released in the last few weeks, they're probably on sale in some way, shape, or form. Probably the biggest DJI drone deal is the DJI FPV combo, $250 off to $999. So that includes like the whole kit combo. It's not the combo with the extra batteries, it's just the combo with the goggles and the controller. So that's there. The Mavic Mini, so it's a slightly older drone. It's not the Mini 2 or the Mini SE, but it's still a really capable drone. Almost 25% off at $399. The Mini SE though, this one right here, which has 2.7K, that has a bundle deal from Adorama that's kind of worthwhile considering. And then the GoPro Hero 10 Black that came out just this past fall, about $50 off from a variety of companies out there. And that's without the subscription. So if you want to subscribe to GoPro, then you get basically $100 off, and I would do that instead. But if you don't want that whole situation, then you can go ahead and just get this camera at $50 off right there. You see the same thing for the Hero 9 Black as well, down to $349. The Insta360 Go 2, this little one right there, is about 13% off, about $30 off or so. That's for the 32 gig model, but the newer 64 gig model is also about the same percent off as well. Then there's the Insta360 cameras, the 1R, the 360 edition. Those are all about 15% off. And then most notably in the sports drone side of it, the Skydio 2 is $400 off. And that drone is pretty awesome when it comes to sport tracking. And that's definitely by far the best deal we've seen on it to date. Okay, a couple other sport tech deals that may not be super obvious at first glance. Apple TV is on sale. That's the newest 4K edition. If you use Zwift, I use Apple TV almost all the time for Zwift because it just works every single time. It's like the best way to do that. Scrolling through here, we've covered some of these before. Lumen has a deal where the device is free with a subscription. The Peloton Tread is $250 off for an accessory bundle. Stride is $23 off. Therabody's Theragun, kind of sports massager, is $100 off. All of the withing scales are between 25 and 40% off, as well as our sleep sensor. And then the Garmin InReach, that's a satellite communicator, so it doesn't require cell phone service, is $50 off. Now, finally, on the European deals, this is one that updates a lot throughout the day. And most of these deals tend to come out over the next 3 or 4 days and tend to be very last minute on Amazon, with Amazon basically just kind of like getting drunk and doing some incredible deals. So stay tuned to the deals page as well as the Twitter feed, because I'll have these things popping out as soon as they happen. The biggest one so far has been the Garmin Edge 530 at €159. It's been floating between 159 and 180 for the last 24 hours or so. Still, that's an incredible deal compared to the normal price of basically €300. Also equivalent to that is the Garmin Fenix 6 Pro at nearly 40% off at €409. So that's for the Pro edition. So that's the one that has maps, music, Wi-Fi, all that goodness is there for both the Fenix 6 and the 6S. And the 6X is slightly more than that because it's got a little bit bigger battery and stuff like that. The same deals we saw on the Peloton bike are applicable on the European side as well. So basically $300 off depending on which bundles you get there. Also, the Peloton Tread is on sale. The Stages bike is on sale on the European side. And then the Tacx Neo 2 SE has been on sale, as well as the Neo 2T. This Neo 2T deal is really, really good and probably one I'll definitely consider, as well as the Neo bike. That's something that we'd not see on sale on the US side, but is here on the European side. Finally, very quickly, a list of things that I have picked up in the past and love that are on sale right now. Kind of the general like sports gadget things that I love category. The Google Nest Wi-Fi, I use that here in the cave as well as at home for Wi-Fi. The Uni pizza oven, that's been awesome. We took that on the Eurobike road trip. I use it all the time. It's 20% off. The Rode Wireless Go microphones, that's what I'm using right now. I use it all the time. That works great. The Samsung T7 drives, as well as the SanDisk Extreme Pros. That's what I use for almost all my video editing when I have my laptop with me. And then from a micro SD card standpoint, in all my drones and action cameras, I'm using the SanDisk Extreme Pros. These are about 40% off right now. So pretty solid deal. I've already bought 3 or 4 more of those. I'll probably pick up a few more today just to have on stock for the next few months because those are kind of my go-to card at the 256 gig level. Okay, so there you go, a massive list of things. Keep in mind, this whole list is up there in the corner at that link right there, constantly updated all day long, as well as on Twitter for all the latest deals. If you found this useful or interesting, go ahead and mark that like button there, or hit subscribe for plenty more sports technology goodness. With that, have a good one.